Did you know that Mexico is not only a beachfront vacation spot, it is quickly becoming one of the world's premier manufacturing countries. Even industry leaders such as Chrysler and Plantronics, companies that specialize in cars and sound innovation through headsets and soundbars, have recently switched their manufacturing plants to Mexico. Good afternoon. My name is Michael Mullins, and I'm the Senior Research Consultant for Universal Packaging Company. I was asked to review our company's manufacturing facilities and countries and to determine if Mexico would be a fit culturally and financially to make a move to manufacture in Mexico. In researching and evaluating whether this would be an option, I established four key criteria: class structure, family structure, education, and finally, day-to-day business values, all centered around Mexico. In researching class structure, I noticed that there are very many similarities to the United States. In Mexico, there is also an upper, middle, and lower class, whereas the upper class dominates the government and money for the nation, as they do that through agriculture and land development. The middle class is striving to become a bigger role in the country, and the lower class is very impoverished, where they're looking for jobs and will do so in any way possible. With a population of 120 million citizens, Mexico is striving to become a leader in the manufacturing world. In a country with widespread poverty, millions of Mexicans rely on day labor because they will do work any way possible, in any way possible, to provide for their families. Therefore, let's move to family structure. Family is and will always be the most important aspect in Mexican culture. Whether you are in the upper, middle, or lower class, it is very common to see 3 generations of family under one household, putting any financial resources they can to provide a steady income to put food and water on the table. Therefore, as Universal Packaging was built on a family atmosphere and the class structure is similar to the United States, I think a move to Mexico would be very easy, as it would be easy to find workers to work any day or night shift, morning, afternoon, or night, as the impoverished workers of the nation are ready and eager to work, and manufacturing would come easy to them, as they've done it before and continue to do with companies like Chrysler and Plantronics. Education in Mexico is one of the worst aspects of the country. Similar to the United States, Mexico offers public education to all citizens. Unfortunately for Mexico, it is very poor, as there is constant turnover among administration, teachers, and students. Students continue to test poorly on international tests, and it is often because they memorize material and not focus on concepts. Mexicans have tried to create a better education system by implementing more private schools and sending more and more kids to private schooling. Unfortunately, the private schools are no better off in most circumstances, as the private school test scores have continued to test poorly on international tests, and it is also because they focus on memorizing material, memorizing answers, instead of focusing on concepts and analyzing problems and solving them based on knowing the concepts. Finally, we focus on day-to-day business values. In a country where 80% of their exported goods are shipped to the United States, there has been a genuine relationship between Mexico and the United States, as there are several Mexican American citizens now. Where relationships are often only business related in the United States, in Mexico they are personal and is not just for business contacts. Therefore, we would have to establish very personal relationships with the Mexican government and Mexican towns and cities before we establish any manufacturing plants in Mexico. The good thing about that is Universal Packaging strives on a family atmosphere and genuine relationships with every employee we have to make sure that all employees are heard and thought of. in any decision-making process we commit to. Therefore, this would be an easy and attainable step for universal packaging management and any employee we have that would send to Mexico to do the training that would be needed to compensate for the poor education in Mexico. I would like to continue the business management training programs that we set in place for all employees that wish to become better off in business and management. It is a free program to all employees and is worth the several months that it takes to become trained. In conclusion, after researching and evaluating the social customs, education, and day-to-day business values of Mexico, it is in my opinion that it is in the best interest of Universal Packaging to make a move to manufacturing in Mexico instead of establishing more manufacturing plants in China and other Asian countries. It is closer to the United States. Its finances are very similar as far as energy costs, as both countries know the ups and downs of the oil and gas market. Mexico is home to several United States for destinations for vacationing, and the United States is home to several Mexican American citizens now, and they still love their culture in Mexico. There are 4 reasons to make a move to Mexico for manufacturing, according to Bloomberg.com. They are cheap manufacturing wages, around 29% less than China, the North American Free Trade Agreement, which gives the United States easy access to Mexican manufacturing plants, cheap energy costs relative to the United States, and finally, industrial savviness, where Mexico has become industry leaders in manufacturing. With all that being said, I believe that we can make a move very quickly within the next few months and establish plants in Mexico that would be for the greater good of Universal Packaging. I hope to see what the future brings in Mexico and look forward to seeing how we can improve their economy as well as ours. Thank you.